welcome to Respawn Aimfire. It is our 87th episode, and we have a special one because we have a special person here with us this week. That person is...
Is that me? Am I the special person?
You're the special person.
Chad Michael Ennis! It's so special!
We're very excited to have you, Chad. It's a unique episode with you here with us.
Oh my god! I'm so freaking excited!
And I forgot my name, but you're so special you probably know what it is.
Say your name. Welcome, Salad Fork McClogger.
That is my name, Salad Fork McClogger. We're here to talk about a lot of stuff, which is mostly going to be the Game Awards. We're talk a lot about the Game Awards this week. We're going to talk a lot about Super Smash Bros., I'm guessing, because we both got it, and we both played it.
Who told you?
Who told you? And then...
God, that's the best part of the movie, Easy A.
That's not what I know that from. I know that from a movie called... I know the movie. I know it so well. I can't remember the title of it. Oh, While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock.
In Easy A, it's Stanley Tucci, and he's like making breakfast or coffee or something like that in the kitchen, and their son, who is black, and the rest of the family who is white. Like, he mentioned something about being adopted, and you just hear in the background he slams his fist on the cabinet and goes, "Who told you?" Because obviously he's adopted.
That's
so
not
good.
exactly what happened in While You Were Sleeping. But I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about Smash Bros. We can't talk about that yet, Chad, because we got to talk about...
Wait, that's not how we start this podcast.
I know, but I'm excited about Smash Bros. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
But
can we call this segment...
We're not going to talk about that first. You do have to talk about thermal stuff first.
That's exactly what I was talking about. We are so profesh.
We're super professional.
Super fresh.
2 minutes in, we've talked about movies and nothing about what we're going to talk about this week.
Hot.
What was your idea, Chad? I respect your opinion because you're a special guest in our show this week.
My idea for what?
You said you had an idea, and then I shut you down, and then...
Oh, it was going to be for the Smash stuff, but we're not starting with Smash stuff.
Oh, okay.
I don't...
Okay. Well, we'll return to that after we've talked about
roll.
Microsoft and Sony, because we're going to start with them this week. Because there's not
We're going to start with
that
both.
much.
Die beide, as they say in German. Auf Deutsch.
Both of them, yes, because there's not that much. And on the first story, honestly, is kind of a duh. And that is for Microsoft, and that's that Game Pass is going to be coming to every device. And this is coming from Phil Spencer.
Together, everyone. That's High School Musical for you.
I don't watch that because I have taste.
Okay, first of all, you haven't tasted anything in your life because you started smoking cigarettes at age 2 and you burned all your taste buds off.
Yep.
No, that's gross. Smoking cigarettes is disgusting.
Smoker, yeah. I think this Game Pass coming everywhere is super obvious.
Yeah, duh. Well, they mentioned a couple months ago, Game Pass is coming to PC, and they just didn't fucking say anything. We're like, well, yeah, that super makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how it's going to be integrated into like the store system. Is it going to be part of the Microsoft Store? Is it a website?
It'll be an app or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, that's most def.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, so you're going to have this cloud streaming service that's going to be on every device, but you're going to keep Game Pass just to Xbox. Like, no, I don't think so.
No, Game Pass is going to turn streaming as well when that streaming solution comes out.
I do think that they'll probably start off with just xCloud on its own first, just to kind of limit the number of users who are using it so they can make sure it's a really good experience for those people. They'll limit it to like just purchase games. But then it'll come to Game Pass once they got the technology down and it's working great.
We have the technology.
We have the technology. We can save him. Do you know who might have the technology this year? Maybe?
Who?
Maybe Media Molecule is still doing the Dreams beta this year?
Who told you? That's insane. We have 2 weeks left of December. We have a couple of days.
So, I think the exchange is really funny, but basically, Media Molecule posted this picture on Twitter of a few different GIFs and like, hey, the holidays are coming up. And then I'm going to make this sound really rude. They didn't put it this rudely. They basically just said like, so is this Christmas gift going to be like this Dreams beta you're promising us? Is that still coming this year? And they're like, thanks. Like the quote is, actually, let me pull it up. The quote is, hi, Thomas. We aren't ignoring anyone. It's very busy here at MM Towers. Our plans haven't changed. And when we are ready to share more details with you, we will. Heart emoji. So I guess
plans haven't changed.
Plans haven't changed. It's still coming 2018. This would be the weirdest time to do a shadow drop. It's after the Game Awards. It's like between Game Awards and Christmas. Why would you shadow drop now unless you just want it to be gone in the abyss of Smash Bros. And people getting excited about all the games you're going to get for Christmas? Like, it would just disappear. It would
for
just disappear
some reason, in my head, It wasn't the beta that was 2018, but for some reason I thought that the game was supposed to come out 2018.
No, the beta. Yeah.
Is that what they said at PSX last year?
They said the beta's coming out this year.
PSX.
Look this up, actually. I think you might be right. But that'd be amazing if they shadow dropped the game on Christmas Day or something like that. Like, that'd be ridiculous. But here's my guess. The person who's running the Twitter account for Media Molecule probably actually isn't on the know on a lot of things because they don't want that person to accidentally say something they shouldn't say yet. So whoever said this is probably told to say just that kind of response. Like, our plans haven't changed. We're staying the course. Like, everything's good here. That's what they're probably trained to say. So this might just kind of be like a really bad misfire where that person just, oh shit, that's right, the plan was this year. So, oops. That's what I'd imagine probably happened. Because there's no way it's launching this year. There's no way.
Here's what Wikipedia
I'll eat my words, though. Like, I'll tell you what. If it does happen this year, I'm so confident in this. If it does happen this year, and we have a Dreams beta coming out and released in 2018,
yep.
I will sing on the podcast. I will just sing on the podcast.
Well, you might have to do that anyway. Here's what Wikipedia says. A beta for the game was originally set to be released in 2016, however was delayed to 2017, with a silent delay to 2018. The full game was also silently delayed from 2018 to 2019.
So it's not coming everywhere this year.
Dreams trailer in 2017 said a 2018 release date. And
what about the beta, though?
The beta, no mention on that. Hold on, what's the source for this one? Oh, that just is the source. It says coming on the 2016.
Oh, Chad.
Oh, man. Oh, what?
Let me see if I can pull up from the Instapaper article that I saved.
Instapaper, blow it up, stick your hand inside, then you'll have the time of your life.
Do you want to bring us through the next one?
A pillow fight. Next one. Do you remember the kind of September? Hey, it's a night. I'm tie-tie. I'm sleepy tie-tie. You guys remember a few weeks ago when we talked about the VR game Dercine? And how there was like a little doll in there that had a reference to Bloodborne maybe being unfinished, and maybe there's a Bloodborne 2 coming. Well, FromSoftware, Hidetaka Miyazaki said in an interview with a Spanish outlet, how do you think you pronounce this in Spanish? What is an X? X? Xataka.
Good job.
Thank you. Just say it in Japanese with a Japanese accent and pretend it's Spanish.
I didn't have the same question. I said, I'm like, how do you pronounce that? I have no idea.
The Easter egg itself is not indicative that we are going to launch Bloodborne 2. I'm not in a position to talk about a possible release of Bloodborne 2. However, we love Bloodborne. That's why this Easter egg has aroused so much curiosity. But, I repeat, it's not a Bloodborne 2 notice. It's just something that we explored among ourselves because we love Bloodborne. So it turns out it might just be an Easter egg. And he might also just be covering his ass, but it sounds like it just like, I like the game, so I put some shit in there.
I think it's it could be a combination of both for all we know. They wouldn't say, oh, it's definitely a reference to a future game we haven't announced yet. Like, he definitely wouldn't say that.
You're right.
Even if they announced Bloodborne tomorrow, he wouldn't say that today.
Yeah, so, I feel like, though, if Bloodborne 2 was in development, he would just instead say silent on this.
That's also true, yeah. But, I don't know. He said he's done with Souls. That doesn't mean he's done with Bloodborne. I don't know. I have a feeling that Bloodborne 2 could kind of end up being like a Half-Life 3 kind of thing, where like, in 10 years, we're still waiting for Bloodborne 2, but it's because it never really was actually going to happen to begin with.
Yeah, but Half-Life 3 was in development.
No, Half-Life 2 Episode 3 was. Half-Life 3 was never in development.
Wasn't there like a year ago, like the head writer on the game was like, hey, you guys, listen, this is obviously never going to happen, so I'll just go ahead and release all the drafts of the script we were writing for Halo 3.
Yeah, but
not Halo, goddammit.
But the draft was for Halo 2 Episode 3.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Not Halo. Stop saying Halo.
Half-Life, damn it. It's like yawning. It's
By
like,
the way, we did run
Halo,
the poll
so
like
said
3
Halo.
weeks ago.
What was that?
They said, does anyone still give a fuck about Half-Life? Turns out most people do, yeah. I think I was the only one on the poll that voted no, so.
Oh, did we ran this as a poll?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I put it up in the middle of an episode like 300-400 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, that's it for Sony and Microsoft news.
Huge news this week for all of them.
Huge.
Huge.
And now we're going to get into the segment which I would like to call the Fez IRL Memorial segment for Smash Bros. For the most hyped man on Smash in the world. Comma, the Fez experience. And that's a joke because if anyone is a regular of the podcast and knows Fez from his subscriber interrogatives, which you can submit on Twitter, or his Twitter banter with us, he's very much not into the hype of Smash. But Holden, we both played Smash.
Yeah.
For, I think, a lot of time. I played for about 8 hours this weekend.
I did about 10.
About 10 hours. Yeah. What is your experience? What is your impression of this game? Is it the best fucking Smash Bros. On the planet? Is it a dud? Is it maybe Back to the Future? Just wrapped in a Switch box?
I said it earlier, at the very beginning of the episode, I'm very excited to talk about Smash. I want to talk about Smash, and I have this weird thing with Smash where I'm really excited to talk about it. But I'm never that hyped to play it until I play it, and then I get excited about it.
Exactly, yeah. That's like my whole life and all of my hobbies.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to do that. That's gonna be, and then I do it, and I'm like, this is fucking great. But then the whole time, it's like dreading doing them.
The difference, though, is that like in a month, I'm probably not going to play as much Smash Bros. Anymore. I don't know though. But I really like it. It's a really, really good Smash Bros. I don't think it met the hype in some ways for me, which I'll get to. But it's super polished. It plays super, super well. Playing the full console version on a handheld as opposed to the 3DS version is really, really nice. But I'm really bothered by the online modes and how they function.
Yeah, I think that's right now the biggest upset, aside from World of Light and Spirits. I think the online modes are the biggest upset of why people are kind of down on this game. Oh, well, in general, everyone's fucking elated. But then
it's great. It's a great game.
Small caveats like, oh, by the way, online needs some work.
But like, I'm buying this game for my brother for Christmas. And
why?
Because I like to play games online with him. But he does. He's a total asshole. No, I'm kidding. He's awesome. I love him. But the thing is that you can't, and we experienced this too. We wanted to play online together. We could only play one-on-one against each other. We couldn't play together against other people, or even just 4 people, including us, all playing together against one another. That really sucks. Like this is a multiplayer game.
What else is weird is that you can't even do that if you're sitting on the couch with somebody.
Yeah, I know.
Like 2 of you on the same system online with other people. You can do it if it's 2 people on separate Switches in the same room playing online, which is so stupid.
This is why... Well, wait a second. You can do local wireless co-op online together, but you can't do that.
You can do...
That doesn't make any sense.
You can do local wireless co-op with up to 2 people playing online. I am 96% sure that's what I saw. I'm loading it up right now. And going to see if that is in fact.
While you're looking it up, here's my theory as to why this is happening.
Because they're stupid on online and they're in Japan and they don't understand online?
They're trying to be very careful with matchmaking. So I was thinking about my brothers. I have 2 brothers, Grace and Henry. They're 13 and 7. Grayson's 13, Henry's 7. Grayson's a lot better at these games than Henry is. He just is, because he's twice as old, practically. Like, it's just, that's what's going to happen. Grayson's been playing games longer. So if they're both playing online together on the same Switch, and they're matchmaking using Grayson, and then you have, like, out of 4 players, 3 are playing really competitively and well, and then you have a 7-year-old thrown in there, that might get kind of annoying for people who want to play more competitively.
Here's what I think. Here's what I think you're doing. You are saying this doesn't make sense, so I'm trying to find some crazy scenario to fit and rationalize.
No. It's not a crazy scenario. The scenario is that you want to matchmake properly for the players who are playing, but now you might have multiple players going in, but you don't actually know the level of the guest player. If that makes any sense. This isn't a fringe scenario. This actually, I think, makes a lot of sense. They don't know how good that guest player is going to be, so they can't make good matchmaking estimates because it's a wild variable. They might just be wanting to avoid that wild variable.
Okay, sorry, I have an update. It's not local co-op wireless that you then connect to. You do have two people on the same system that can then play online.
Really? Okay. People seem very confused about this then.
I just tried it by disconnecting my Joy-Cons from the Switch and then making them separate controllers each. And yes, I could have two controllers paired, two players.
I think what's happening then is that the interface for online really sucks, because I read an article that said verbatim that you cannot do two players on the same Switch online together. But you're just showing me a screen that says you can.
It looks as if you can. So there's co-op right there.
Yeah.
And there's solo. And I thought the co-op was... I swear I saw this.
Well, I thought the co-op was just playing co-op like teams with someone else random online. That's what I thought.
No. Turns out everyone's just lying whores. And Nintendo's doing a very bad job at communicating.
Yeah, but either way, we could not play against other people online. We were playing together. We had to play in the battle arenas by putting a stupid chip in a boxing ring.
Right, and then anytime you want to change your character, even just right after a match, you can't just be like, choose a new character and go. You got to pull yourself out of the battle arena ring, change your character. Everybody's going to fucking wait on you, and then you guys can fucking join again.
It's ridiculous. Here's what that's ridiculous too. What it should look like: the lobby while you're waiting for a game should look like the character start screen. That seems like the most obvious way to do it.
And then just like as it finds matches for you, they just pop in there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Similar to how on the fucking local, like if you're playing locally, you just hit the button to add more players to it.
Yeah.
Like that makes so much sense.
It's really like invite new player. It'll just say invite instead of plus or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's stupid. And then but I do want to give them credit for something that is really cool, and that is background matchmaking.
I haven't actually experimented with that.
It's really cool. So you just say, hey, find some matches for me. I prefer these rules. This is who I want to play as. Just find people. And I'm just going to play Smash Bros. On my own in World of Light or, the classic mode or whatever mode you want to play in. And it'll just find people and then pause your game and let you jump into an online match. And it brings you right back in again after you're done. It works pretty well. It's really great. But it always found matches so fast for me that I never even had to start anything else. So
sure, it's release weekend.
It's release weekend, exactly. But it's a great idea. Here's one additional problem I have with the online though. I didn't set preferred rules. So just be like, cool, you're doing this match now, and then I'd just be hurled into this match. I suck at Smash Bros. So the rules are stock 3 for 7 minutes, and I die in the first 3 minutes. I have to wait 4 minutes.
Oh, you have to hang out there?
I can't leave it. There's no way to even leave it. The only way to leave it would be to leave to the home screen, close the application, go back in again. And that it would probably mean that I get flagged in the servers for abandoning a game, which I didn't technically do. I never did this. I stayed in the game, but that'd be really shitty if they dinged me for that, and I was too afraid to leave, so I don't want to be dinged. So I didn't. So there are some issues they have to deal with on the online part. But the game itself, and playability-wise...
It's so fun. It's so fucking fun.
It's great, yeah.
I've played it with so many people, too. It's so cool to be able to be like Tom came over the release day, and we just played for like a good 4 or 5 hours, unlocking characters. We played through the classic Smash mode. You can do that co-op, which is cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I love the classic
Does it make
Smash.
it harder when you do it in co-op like that?
A lot of things are just duplicated. So like if I was Link and I was fighting Ganondorf, there were 2 Ganondorfs.
Okay. But what about like if you fought the boss, like Master Hand? Were there 2 Master Hands?
Then there was Master Hand and Crazy Hand.
Okay. But what if you're fighting like the dragon from Monster Hunter or whatever it is, though?
Then it's the dragon from Monster Hunter.
But are there 2 of them?
No, there were not 2 of them.
Oh.
But speaking of that, that's really cool. I love that each one. I think there are 7 bosses in the game, and each character that you play classic mode as. First of all, they're really well thought out. Like the 6 fighters that you fight along your classic mode route, like pertain to whoever you're fighting as.
But I also found too. I played as Shulk. It's kind of like my main guy, and I found that they would pick enemies that I was kind of weak against, or I'd have a hard time against as well. So it was always a strategic.
That might have something to do with Xenoblade and like some kind of Pokemon weakness strength system.
Oh no, I didn't mean like that. I just mean like, let's say you're Bowser and you're slow and strong. You'd be fighting against fast and small enemies instead.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
But I noticed that
like,
when I was playing. So I did it as Bowser and Shulk, and they definitely tailored it that way.
One of the examples I know of is when you're playing as Ryu or Ken, and you're fighting through. Every single fighter that you fight is meant to like mimic another Street Fighter fighter. Oh, so, like, if you're fighting Zero Suit Samus, and that's Chun-Li, and Chun-Li's music is playing in the background. So, yeah, and then, like, I love the bosses are kind of tailored to it as well. So we played Young Link, and the final boss was Ganon. And what's really cool about these two is that the final bosses are not just like, Master Hand in the original games. It's just like, fucking just kill him and fight him forever. What the Ganon battle was like is that he's Ganon from Ocarina of Time. He's only weak on his tail, and you have to fight. He's like fucking huge, and you can't. It's so hard to get over him. So we were luckily playing co-op, and one of us could distract him while the other one jumped over, hit his tail like twice, and then he'd fucking kill us. But little things like that are really, really cool. The dragon too. Every once in a while, like he's really hard to fight, but every once in a while you'll get like a Deku Nut to stun him, and then you stun him and beat the shit out of him. But like. It's a little cool little addition. I don't know if they've ever had bosses in Smash before.
Well, they had Master Hand before.
They've always had Master Hand, yeah.
But I don't remember they had Crazy Hand, or they had something else too. It was like a Master Hand, another hand, along with him they had at one point. But that was in the Wii U version. I don't remember anything else besides that.
But I'm digging Classic. I love the additions of the Smash meter. We had the Smash Ball on for a while.
How was that?
I much prefer it.
You do? Okay. I like the fake Smash Ball.
I don't know if I do. Because Smash Ball, here's the thing, is that anytime that Smash Ball comes on the screen, suddenly everyone stops fighting each other, and it just becomes people jumping all over the screen trying to fight it.
That's true, yeah.
It's just like, it's totally distracting, and then you get it, and it's usually a whimper anyway of whether someone actually fights or hits somebody with it. Mm-hmm. And then the fake Smash Ball, if there were a tell for it, that if you were looking close enough, you could tell it's fake. Oh, and some of them are like just kind of hanging out on the ground.
No, you can absolutely tell it's a fake one.
Can you?
Yes, so here's how you tell. So you know how in the Smash logo, there's a thicker line and there's a thinner line that make up the logo? Yeah. They're switched on the fake one.
Oh my god, that's too. No, it has to be something a little bit more obvious, so that in the heat of battle,
exactly
you could
the kind of thing they do in like a Zelda game, where it's like there's 4 bosses, but there's a slight difference between one of them, and it would always be something like that. So I'm totally fine with that. It's awesome.
Zelda battle is not an 8-person all-out brawl where you can already barely find out what's going on the screen.
Try it once you know that. It's really not that hard to tell. I've never once have I accidentally hit one before.
Doesn't fucking matter because the Smash meter is the way to go.
Well, I will give you that. I want to try that. That does sound better. You make a good point there.
Smash meter, it's fun. Pretty much everyone gets one. Someone's gonna have one in a minute. Even the standard match is like 2.5 minutes. Usually everyone will get one. Smash meter, A+.
Items in general, I think, are really awesome because people I've played with in the past for the Wii U version have always played with items off. So this is actually kind of like one of my first times really delving into playing with items continuously.
Yeah.
And wow, does that really change the game.
Oh, yeah. It makes it a whole lot more fun, especially assist trophies.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the, like, Master Ball Pokemon. And...
Oh, I had 2 assist trophies on my side once, and I was really feeling comfortable.
I think... Have you ever... So the assist trophies, you can now kill them and get points for killing them. But I have not... Those assist trophies are tough as fuck. I have not been able to actually kill them before.
There's one, I don't know which game it's from, but it just punches you constantly. And I went to go to hit him, and then he just punched me back constantly, and I couldn't get out because he was just going so fast. It was nuts. It was hard. I don't remember who it was, though.
You just gotta get good, dude.
Gotta get good. I do suck at Smash Bros. Like, a lot. Like, I haven't gotten as many characters, or I've gotten a lot now, but the first day I didn't get many characters at all because I couldn't beat the foes when they were incoming, because... They were hard.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
A lot of them are hard as hell.
They're hard as hell, and I just suck at the game. So I'd be like, I can't unlock new characters. I can't get the characters I want because they're fucking hard when I get to them. But I've gotten past it. I've unlocked a lot of characters now. How many do you have, would you say?
I have no clue. Maybe like 30?
Okay. I know I'm about like halfway now. I have like half the characters now. So I'm a little over 30.
Yeah, they're tough. What's your favorite ones? Have you unlocked any of the new ones?
I've gotten some Belmonts.
I got Simon and Richter. I haven't actually played as Simon yet. He was the last one I just unlocked.
Mm-hmm. And then I got Ridley.
Oh, I don't have Ridley yet.
Yeah.
I want Ridley.
Ridley's really
I got
fun.
Incineroar. Incineroar is dope. He's super dope. He's one of my favorite ones to play with.
Yeah, you were telling me he's really good. How do they decide the order then? So we're not getting the same order then.
No, they are. It sounds like there are World of Light. They're obviously in specific places. If you unlock that route, Classic Mode, you unlock a different character based on who you beat Classic Mode with. So if I were to beat Classic Mode, I think if you beat Classic Mode with Link, that will always unlock King K. Rool. Beat Classic Mode with so and so, that will always unlock this person, unless
I
I
got King K. Rool as well.
And then otherwise, I think it's random if you just do smashes.
Actually, I think I have all the new characters.
King
K. Rool, Inkling, Simon Belmont, and Ridley. Those are all the new characters.
Daisy yet? Not counting shadow characters.
Not counting shadow characters. I think those are all the new ones.
Side note, I think it's bullshit that you can't unlock characters by playing online modes.
Yeah. That's a little annoying. I do have a small little nitpick, and that's that there are too many maps to start with. I wish you unlocked maps as well.
That's one of the things I like about unlocking characters is that I really can get to know each of these characters as I unlock them because I get a chance to play with them versus having all 74 at once. I'm like, I'm never going to play half of these.
Yeah. But the maps,
I wish the maps were the same.
I think it would be really cool if they said, hey, we're going to give you a selection of maps based on the opening starting characters. And then as you unlock more characters, you'll open up a map associated with that character. So you get like King K. Rool, you might get a Donkey Kong level that you haven't unlocked yet. You get Daisy, you're going to get the Mario Kart level. Like little things like that. I think that would be really exciting. Where it's like, oh, I don't care about getting Daisy, but I did want that level. So that's cool. Yeah.
Otherwise, like right now, I just choose random every time because like I'm not going to sit here and spend an hour picking from 80 different maps.
Yeah, actually, so I have been picking from the map manually every time, and I looked at, because you can look at the stats of how much time you've played Smash Bros. And how much time you fought in Smash Bros. And there is like a many-hour difference between playing and fighting in the game.
Yep, you're just looking at maps.
Just looking at maps, yeah. But there's a lot of them, and there are some really, really good ones. So, have you done Pirate Ship yet?
I don't know.
It's the Wind Waker Pirate Ship, and it is
I think so.
So good. It's a great level. It's a good one. Fun times.
I have done one where it's lava and the world just keeps rotating underneath of you.
Yes, isn't that one? I was going to mention that too.
I fucking hate that.
You hate that one? I love that one.
I played it today against David Ramirez on my break, and I hate it. I fucking.
Do you want to play one you're going to hate? Play the Paper Mario one. Oh my god, it's so annoying.
I don't think I've played that one yet.
Play Paper Mario. I love the one you just mentioned, the lava one. I think it's a Brinstar Depths is what it's called. It's a Metroid one. I know that.
I don't know.
But play Paper Mario.
It sucks.
I had this like, all right. I had this like paranoia that I wasn't recording for some reason, but I was. So that's good.
Paranoia, everybody's coming to get me.
So Chad.
So yeah, Smash is still Smash. It's I think the best version. I didn't play the Wii U 3DS version too much because I only had the 3DS one, and anyone with a Wii U is stupid. But yeah, I think this is probably going to be the definitive version of Smash. I think this will probably overtake Melee with everyone's favorite.
I still
think it's weird that it supports GameCube controllers. Is that weird?
I do too. Everyone's like, "Oh, thank God!" I'm like, "I'm using the Pro Controller, and I think it's great."
Yeah, y'all gotta get with the times.
Smash is just a heavily nostalgic game.
Yeah,
that's why it gets away with not being able to change. I mean, yeah, they add a lot of stuff. I get that, but it's still the same game every time. More so than like Pokemon is, I would say.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you say this?
God, it's so funny.
They add new stuff, but you're just playing it the same way you've always played it. You're not playing it any differently. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't mentioned this, and I don't think we need to spend too long on it. World of Light sucks.
I played 3 levels of it, and I'm like, oh, someone cares about this. I don't, and then I stopped.
I played a good hour of it.
Wow.
And it's just like, it's so repetitive. It's so boring. It's so long. It's 40 hours long.
That's way too long.
It's the slowest way to unlock characters, but it's like the spirit system. You're unlocking spirits and.
But does that benefit you though when you're playing online? Does it benefit you when you're playing against your friends? Like, does the spirits benefit you?
You can use spirits in regular Smash modes. You can't. I don't think you can use them online, but you can use it in local play.
Then most people aren't going to give a shit.
Exactly. And it's the problem is I see almost no change when I have a spirit equipped, and when I don't. If I have something that says, "Oh, you move slightly faster," I just don't fucking notice it at all, and it was worthless. Yeah, and it's also the slowest method, so not gonna play it.
Yep. Plus, you have to start off as Kirby, and
you know what though? I'm actually pretty good as Kirby.
Are you?
Like, I unlocked along that spirits track. I unlocked Inkling. I unlocked Mario. I unlocked like 3 or 4 characters, and no matter what, I always kept coming back to Kirby.
Okay, do you know who I found out I'm really good with?
Who?
And then found out there's a huge disadvantage to those characters, so I'm not playing as them. Ice climbers. I'm really good with the ice climbers.
Oh man!
But if one of your ice climbers strays away and they get knocked off, that's you lost a life, even though you weren't actively controlling that character, or at least I'm missing something and there was something I was doing. I don't know, but that was really kind of annoying. Or like I lost a life and I'm like, but I wasn't. I was just right here. What happened? It was very confusing. But
yeah. So Smash Bros. A+. Thank you, Fez, for your opinions on Smash Bros. He tweeted out this weekend, "What happened to all the Smash Bros hype?" And and he has like a gif of someone just like searching off into it's like I replied, "Oh, sorry, playing Smash, can't talk."
That's funny. So Chad,
so our bar for this month, Backlog accomplishment with Respawn and Friends. Normally we reserve this for a classic game or an older game that we both missed somehow, or at least one of us did. This year or this December, we are doing games that we missed for Game of the Year consideration. So I'm playing Hollow Knight.
We haven't put it that way. That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, I'm playing Hollow Knight. You're playing God of War on PlayStation 4 in 2018.
God of suck.
More like God of Game of the Year 2018.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And so we're just going to do little bits of barf to update you on our opinions throughout the month, and then we'll kind of give a Game of the Year talk on January 1st.
Let me start with mine, because mine's pretty quick. It sounds like you played many, many, many more dozen hours more than me. So, I only played initially maybe like hour or 2, I'd say, 2 hours of God of War. So I didn't get too much farther. I got the Soul Chisel at them now, so I can unlock certain doors, so I can go lots of more places now. Do want to call out that I had the conversation with the World Serpent, and that scene is awesome.
Dude, yeah.
Like, it was just badass. It was really cool. But most importantly, again, people who didn't listen last week, I played 5 hours of God of War, and then I stopped just because I was playing other games and then school, and now I'm playing it again, so I feel like I missed some things. The systems were making too much sense to me, but I get it now. I understand like how leveling up works. It's really, I think, overly convoluted, but I get it. Basically, just you get better equipment, which levels you up. You just get better stuff, and that levels you up. That's basically how it works. But it does mean that like Kratos has a level, and then the Leviathan has a level, and then each piece of armor he has a level, and then each of the enchantments that you can add onto the Leviathan axe and each piece of armor has its own level, and
so does Atreus.
And so does Atreus, and so does like his. So there's a lot there, but given that complexity, I think you can kind of ignore it for the most part, based on what I've seen thus far. Because I ignored a lot of that and like didn't upgrade my Leviathan axe, and I got a really good chunk in the game, and then I'm like, oh, I can upgrade my Leviathan axe, and now it's really powerful, and I'm finding the game a lot easier suddenly. So that's good. Because also when you have the more powerful items and the combat's a little bit faster, it makes it flow a lot better as well, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I'm also learning now too, because I got into the skill tree and was kind of going into like what perks I want to kind of build up towards, even though it seems like you can get pretty much all of them. Not too easy, not too difficultly, with not too much difficulty. But going through that skill tree really helped me to kind of understand what moves I have and how I can use them in combat, and that really helped a lot. Because I couldn't figure out why I was scraping my axe on the ground and having it shoot ice forward, like out of the ground. I couldn't figure out why I was doing it. Now I know why it's doing that. Now I can use it strategically because I know what I'm doing. So much more fun than I know that stuff. So much more fun. And but I still always ignore Atreus. I don't know why. I always ignore him. I never use his arrows in combat, almost ever. And
have you gotten any of his powers yet?
I've gotten like the electrical arrows and like the normal blue arrows. That's all I've gotten so far. There was this weird scene. Actually, it's story related. I won't mention it. But I keep like forgetting to use Atreus in combat, and then he'll just shout at me like, "Hey, I'm over here," like just so you know. I'm like, "Oh, that's right. Next time, Atreus, though, I'll let you fight," and then I just forget every time.
Dude, just mash the square button with stun arrows. Just like, he'll just one enemy's like completely stunned, ready for you to take him out. That way you can focus on anything else.
All right. I'll take your advice.
Just do it. Just do it. Just equip the right type of arrow for the enemy, and then just mash that button every time it's available.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all I have to say about God of War for right now. Still really good. Liking it.
More like God of Horror.
God of Horror. Chad, tell me about Hollow Knight.
I played about a dozen more hours. I'm now 13 and a half hours into this game. Ooh. And what I think most worries me is that I have to finish it for this month, which means that I can't focus a lot on like side.
But you really want to, don't you?
But I really want to.
Yeah.
But I can't. But then I feel like after I beat the game, I'm going to have to move on to something else, and I won't ever be able to come back and do these things.
Mm-hmm. So you're liking it.
So I'm liking it a lot, yes. Yeah. This is a beautiful Metroidvania game. I'm loving... I have all the little map marker tokens that I'm like, ooh, there's a part where I know later I'm going to need a little double jump, so I'm going to put a little blue one to say I have to fly up here. That way I can remember to come back when I got the fly things. Or I just realized I've been freeing all these little wormy caterpillars.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are these even for? Why am I breaking these out? Mm-hmm. I even ran into one that was a mimic.
Yeah.
And turned into this monster.
Yep.
Freaked me the fuck out. But I've just learned what those are for. Mm-hmm. Got a bunch of rewards from that.
I'll say, try to find all of them. Something interesting does happen if you find all of them.
I did learn what the reward was for all of them already.
Did you find out the story-ish part?
No.
Okay, that's actually more what I'm referring to.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little story thing that happens. You kind of go like, man, this game is so fucked. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
I think it's a really beautiful game. I didn't realize it was all hand-drawn art style.
Yeah.
It's so freaking. And you were mentioned earlier this year. You're like, does knowing how many people you worked on the game change whether or not change your review score of the game? Mm-hmm. And I want to say no.
But for this game,
I will say on its own merit, is it a good fight? Anyway, it's no matter how many people worked on this, it's great. Whether it was 3 people or 105 people.
Knowing it's 3, I think changes it a little bit. Because there's just it's not just that it's really good. There's so much. There's
so much, and it's so deep. And I found myself just I know that I should be going here. Mm-hmm. I know that's the next thing that I need. But also, but if I go grind this out, and I go to this area that I haven't explored yet, I know that I'll get this, so I can upgrade this, and then once I have that upgraded thing, then I can kill this easier, and then I can get enough geo to go buy this charm, and then once I have that charm, I'll have bought enough charms that I can get another notch, and then I can totally revamp all my charms. And then there are optional bosses everywhere that I'm finding, and then there's just this amazing exploration. Mm-hmm. And there's something to the risk reward. It's got that Dark Souls risk reward to it.
Yes.
Where you got all this money with you. The money I'm not too attached to as attached to as I am Souls and things like that.
You'll get to a point where it's more about having a high score where it's I have 100,000. That's right. I'm awesome. And then you lose it, you're kinda I can do it again.
Yeah. So that part I'm not that's not quite the risk reward, but the risk reward to me is I am balls deep in this area that I don't have a map for.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping I don't die because I don't know where the fuck I'm going to spawn back and then whether I'm going to be able to get back to where I am currently.
It's kind of scary. Yeah. You're I need to turn back. I need to go back, but I won't.
Speaking of scary, forward. I don't want to spoil anything. Mm-hmm. So I'll just deep nest.
Yeah.
I got there a lot earlier than I was supposed to, I think.
I've heard some people's that was the third area I made it to. I'm like, how? How did you get there so early?
I got there pretty early.
Yeah, I got there towards maybe 30 hours into the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've heard this before, and I'm like, how did you get there early? That was a really late part of the game for me.
Fucking terrifying.
Right? Do you have the light?
Terrifying.
Do you have the lamp?
I did end up getting the lamp,
yeah.
I actually coincidentally got the lamp right before I ended up going to that area.
Okay, yeah, because I can't imagine doing that place with the lamp. I can't imagine it. but it's just all the little noises and like in the background.
The noises, all of the little things crawling across your screen in the foreground.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's great. I love the Deep Nest area. So there were some bosses in this game that really like drove me nuts because they are hard. Have you come across anything yet that's like really just tested you?
There's I mean, there are a couple that I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to be here yet. Mm-hmm. I'm going to come back and do these later.
You'll
like,
think that, and then you'll realize
of things.
You have to.
I mean, eventually, yeah.
No, I mean, but like you'll realize, oh no, this is what I actually have to do right now. I can't go wandering around. That'll happen.
Okay.
Not like you're forced to, but as you're wandering around to kind of realize, I really think the game wants me to fight that boss.
I like found a secret version of another boss I'd already fought that I just like. It was the dream version. I went to the dream world. It was actually the first boss. Mm-hmm. And then it was just like an incredibly hard version of him.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. Okay. Have you come across... I'm trying to be vague here. Any bosses that are... You're facing more than one enemy at once?
Yeah.
You tell me
talking about the Mantis Lords?
That's a good boss battle. That's a great one. That's like get to the Deep Nest, then, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, any other ones?
I can't remember.
Okay, you'll know because there's this one boss battle that just it is one of the most difficult things I've ever done in like a 2D style game like this.
Yeah,
and I really want to know what you think of that boss battle. And if it's one of those things you're like, oh, I beat that my first try, I'm like, fuck you, Chad, fuck you.
What I do love really so much about this game is the thing when you're stuck on something and there's like you learn something because you have no other option, and that's how the game forces you to figure it out. Like when I'd been bouncing around on those little tiny like bouncy flower things, bouncy buds, I'd just been kind of hopping on them, but I was like, oh man, I can't really jump off of these. Or I can only bounce so high. I was like, God, these things fucking suck. All right. And then I got to the point where it was like, I have to go forward here. All there is this. And I accidentally hit it with my sword. I was like, oh my God, I can like actually bounce high on these if I slap them with my sword. And then the first time when there were like things going across the spikes, and I'm like, I can bounce on those with my sword.
Yep.
I tell you what almost drove me to fucking insanity last night. I spent about 45 minutes doing the caterpillar bounce thing. Do you remember the centipede bounce thing?
Yeah. You have to go across a whole lake, basically, of acid?
Yes. Yeah. No, not a lake.
What was it?
It's in Deep Nest. And there's the caterpillar, and you're going across on the caterpillar, and it's moving, and you're going on top of it, and then you have to, like, dodge the spikes. And
yes.
Like, legit, 45 minutes, I almost fucking snapped my Switch in half.
There are some incredibly hard platforming segments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great game, though. It's great.
It's really good. I'm glad you're liking it. And I'm actually kind of excited because I still, like, based on what you're telling me, there's still so much that you haven't found yet. You're going to...
Yeah, I thought I was getting... Because I'm getting to the point where, like, there are 3 things that I need to go kill. And I've killed one of them, and I've got 2 more left.
Okay.
And I started to get to the point where, like, man, all right, I'm getting kind of close to the end. And then I was just like, I wonder what's over in this corner. And I discovered 3 brand new fucking areas that are all huge that I had no idea were anywhere. And I was like, well, shit. Nope, I'm nowhere fucking close.
I'll say a lot of areas are also mildly optional. Kind of depends. It's kind of like,
sure,
there's so many ways you can go about this game. You can miss a lot. There's also a lot of it is DLC that's been added in since you've gotten the game.
Okay.
So, like, you'll just kind of come across things you're like, oh, wow, there's this whole, like, arena over here that I had no idea about. It doesn't really have anything to do with, like, the narrative of the game directly. It's definitely part of the world, and it's very cool. But I'm glad I found it, because this is one of my favorite areas of the game now. Like, you'll kind of come across, like, those little moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad you're liking it.
So, I think that's all I want to say about it for this week.
Yeah.
My hope is to have it beat by Christmas.
Like Christmas? Yeah. We were flying, so you should save it for the plane.
Fly, yeah! Yeah, but the flight's only like an hour and a half, and immediately after I get on airplanes, I fall asleep.
True. Well, Chad, speaking of falling asleep, Let's talk about some video game movies that are going to suck.
Wait, did we talk about... Why do we have a Smash Bros. Ultimate section in this note? Is that something we already talked about?
Yeah, we basically already talked about it.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Oh, we have to do fetch quests first. I'm sorry. Let's not talk about video game movies yet. Segue for nothing. Pointless segue. Let's go on to something else now. We're very professional in this podcast. Very professional.
Please be 18. Please be 18.
So we get some quick fetch quests here. First one is that Panzer Dragoon is going to be remade. This is an official announcement. Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Getting remade.
Did you ever play those games?
Nope.
On the Segas?
Nope, did not.
I played Panzer Dragoon Orta. Right? Yeah, on Xbox. That was like an Xbox launch title. And that game was dope.
Was it? I know nothing about it.
It's a dragon flying game. It's like a first person, not first person. Like a flight simulator game.
Yeah.
Where you're just behind, like a third person flying game. But you're shooting with dragons and magic and shit, and it's fun.
Oh, sounds like fun. Do you know who's not having fun?
Artifact players?
Yeah, half of them. They're not having fun, apparently.
The Artifact players, yeah.
You say half of them. They went from 60,000 players to 25,000 players. So a little bit more than half left, Artifact. And I'm not surprised, because there are a lot of card games out there, and you have to do something really special to stand out. And
also, a lot of card games that are free to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Artifact costs money, and then if you want the good cards without having to grind for them, you got to pay money for the cards.
I actually looked a little bit at the pricing. I don't mind $20 to buy the game, because you're getting a starter pack and like you're getting a bunch of cards, all that kind of stuff. It's the paying $1 to play certain expert level matches. That's weird.
Yeah.
Like in Hearthstone, there's casual play and there's expert play. Expert play just says, hey, I want to play with people who are really competitive. Imagine having to pay $1 every time you went to play one of those matches. That's just, I don't know, I think that's a little greedy.
Yeah, especially with, like, if it were free to play, I would understand, cool, you got to make money somehow. But then you're already paying $20 for the game.
Yeah, and also card games make tons of money to begin with, because you have to buy card packs. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
Card games have the easiest model for microtransactions ever. Don't mess with that.
Speaking of good use of your money,
yeah,
there's a Quantic Dream Collection available now for PS4, and it includes Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human, and it's the same price as just Detroit Become Human by itself.
Yeah, it wasn't, and to be clear here, it was the same price as Detroit. Now Detroit costs less money. No. Detroit is still the same price as this.
Yeah.
Why do they not drop the price of Detroit? I don't understand that. I had to do a double take. I'm like, oh, clearly they just mean it's her Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls for $40, and then Detroit's another $40 after that. That would make sense, but no, it's $40 for all three. Good deal.
We talked about Heavy Rain earlier. I think that you should not start with Heavy Rain. Holden thinks it's an okay place to start. I think Detroit Become Human is a wonderful, fantastic game that I think everyone should play. So
I need to play that still. I hear it's good.
Pick up your room, Jared.
So we have some new games coming to Xbox and Game Pass in December.
Fuck, I might get Game Pass for another month.
Yeah, because Below is going to be on there, and that game looks fucking awesome.
Below and Ashen.
I want Ashen.
That's it. That's really all I want.
You don't want to play Pro Evolution Soccer 19?
No.
Jesse's going to want to play Mortal Kombat 10.
If you have Xbox and Game Pass and you haven't played Hellblade yet, fucking play Hellblade.
Absolutely.
That was one of our Game of the Year contenders last year.
Yeah, I think it was on
Blind Force.
Actually,
it's been on there before, I think. Maybe it's just rotating back in.
I don't know. But I so want to play Below. Below sounds fantastic.
It has been how many years? 5, 6 years?
6 years, yeah. You have to play that game so I can live vicariously through you.
I will play it, but I'm not going to let you know anything about it.
Okay, Chad, now can we talk about video game movies?
Let's talk about video game movies.
That segue 5 minutes ago is so worth it. That worked.
Worth it.
Let's start with Metro 2033. First of all, I didn't even know there was a movie being worked on for Metro 2033.
Well, it turns out there's not.
Exactly, because they stopped working on it. This reminds me a lot of the Harry Potter Steven Spielberg situation.
Go on.
So Harry Potter was apparently at one point going to be made by Steven Spielberg. And then he wanted to have it set in America and have him be an American. And J.K. Rowling said, no, that's not what Harry Potter is.
Obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they didn't do that. And thank God they didn't, because those movies are magical because it was true to the book. And this is kind of the same thing. Metro 2033 was supposed to take place in Moscow because that's what happens in the games and the books. And the producers wanted to set the game in Washington, D.C. instead. And the author basically said that, actually the quote is, that he felt that his depiction of xenophobia in Moscow would not carry over to Washington, D.C. is kind of how he put it. And he believes that Moscow would be a unique setting, and that would be a selling point for the movie. And that I do agree with.
Yeah, you don't see much in Moscow.
No, you don't.
In movies.
You don't. And I think he makes a good point about xenophobia in America and is different than it is in, say, Europe, just because we're pretty much an isolated country. I mean, we have Mexico and Canada around us, but like Europe it's small countries all together. Russia's right there as well. It's a different layout. So the topics and how you discuss those issues is different than it is in America.
Yeah. In America, you're just idiots who are fucking terrified of Mexican people for some reason.
Oh, they mean Canadians. We're terrified of Canadians too. You gotta don't forget about that. Yeah, they're just so boring. We're terrified of them. I just want to say, good for him for sticking up for his work like that.
Yeah.
I think he also. I hadn't read this in the notes, so maybe I'm crazy here, but I think he also just made the point too of like the books and movies have sold millions of copies. Clearly, Moscow's not an issue. But then we have this other movie story.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, so I can tell Chad's very excited about this one.
I'm just looking at the silhouette, and then there was another image they released today of him sitting on top of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, they actually show what he looks like in that one?
No, it's just like it's his POV, so you see his legs and then like his speed trail on the bridge.
Oh, okay.
So you don't actually see his body or his face. But oh my god, it's one of those like.
It looks so bad.
No, God, no kind of moments.
Yeah.
He looks like a weird deformed toddler.
So I was actually thinking the opposite direction. Because his arms and legs are like full arms and legs, I was thinking he's going to stand up and be like 6 feet tall. And that's going to be weird if he's a little hedgehog. It is
so weird for him to have those full ass arms and legs.
It's really strange. But then you can tell based on his little nose, and I think that's his eye. He's kind of like a cartoony-ish face, or cartoonish looking face. I don't know. Like, I mean, real looking still, but like, bad. I'm really worried. I think this sounds awful. And then I was looking at the cast, and I'm like, oh, no one in this cast sounds like it's gonna be worth it. Like, there's no one. I don't know. John Ralphio, the guy who played John Ralphio, is playing Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, he's funny as shit, though.
He is funny, but is he Sonic the Hedgehog, though? I don't know.
I mean, the last Sonic the Hedgehog we got was Jaleel White, Steve Urkel. So...
Is that for real?
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon was Jaleel White.
I had no idea. That's really funny. This just doesn't look good. I think this poster was released a month after the Pokemon movie because they have to stay
in the conversation. Though? Okay. So, yeah, at first glance, I was terrified by the Detective Pikachu Pokemon. This could turn out to be like that. When we finally do get a full look and not just a silhouette.
It could be. I was also at first off-put by Pikachu's life-size arms and legs. And then I realized it's fine. It's normal looking. And I'm sure the same thing will happen to Sonic and his human-sized arms and legs.
Yep. Definitely. Most
def not. All right. We got some rumors to talk about. And I want to start with the Portal 3 rumor. Did you look into these at all?
I just read the notes that you wrote in there.
I think the Portal 3 was really funny. So basically what happened is in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I guess they had some sort of new map or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but there was a hotel room in the map with 4 rooms in it. The third room you couldn't get into. However, there's a secret entrance to the third room in the second room. And when you go in there, there's a computer. And when you sit at the computer for a few minutes, it plays an encrypted audio recording. When people decrypted it, it was a quote from GLaDOS from Portal. And the quote is, I have it right here. "This was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success." I haven't played Portal, but that's from the game. They've now, CSGO commented, and they said, "Congrats to all those who found our Portal Easter egg on DZ Black site. We're just having a bit of fun. An Easter egg is not a product announcement. Enjoy Danger Zone." So again, like kind of the same thing we said with the whole Bloodborne thing. They're never going to say it was a product announcement. But that seems really obviously like a big wink Easter egg. Like, I think way more than the Bloodborne 2 one.
I think we're just seeing like people having fun with games that they like. I mean, in a day and age where we're seeing, like, they just announced this week that you will be able to play Geralt of Rivia in Monster Hunter World. Mm-hmm. Not just a skin, but like he's in it. Like companies, this is still Valve, but companies putting properties together and just having fun mashing up video games. I think that's really all it was.
I don't know, because
like some guy saying, "We really like Portal. I wonder if we can just reach out and say, hey, can we put Portal in our game?" Like, fucking yeah.
There are 4 rooms.
We're not going to make a third one.
It's the third room. You can't get into the third room. There's all the joke of that Valve can't count to 3. You can get into the first room, you can get into the second room, can't get into the third room, can't count to 3, and then you can sneak into the room and there's a Portal reference in there. I don't know. I think it's more likely they would make a Portal 3 than they would a Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
So I believe it. Two things, though. One is that I don't think Gabe Newell was like, "Hey guys, we should do this Easter egg. Let's put company resources into making this Easter egg as a marketing wink wink." Like, I don't know. I don't believe that necessarily. But the second point is that someone who's working on the game, because the way Valve works is they have desks with wheels on them. If you want to work on another game, you just wheel your desk over to that department. If you want to change to working on Half-Life 3 instead, you just wheel your desk over to that department. That's how it works, apparently. So someone was making something for, Global Counter-Strike. They had worked on Portal 3, and they're like, "Oh, we want to do a light wink to it." I can see them doing that. It's a lot of effort. I don't know. But, I don't know. This seems like a big Easter egg to make.
Is it a lot of effort? Yes. Do they have anything else they're fucking working on? No.
Well, apparently they're working on Portal 3, Chad. They got a lot they're working on. Actually, they do have a lot they're working on. They've said that they are going to be releasing games in greater frequency in the next few years.
No.
Well, they said
Firewatch creators are going to be making games for them.
Campo Santo's going to be making Half-Life 3.
Santo.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
That's why they bought them. They're like, we don't want to fucking do it. We want to keep making Easter eggs and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So we're going to hire you to make our games for us.
Speaking of 3.
3... This game's a big old cock tease. Borderlands 3, y'all, just needs to fucking come out.
When did 2 come out?
A long-ass time ago.
It was
came out on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
They re-released it in the Handsome Collection, though. Some details. Apparently, you're going to have 4 main characters. Going to be heavily co-op focused. Most likely be announced the first half of 2019. Game is still an alpha, not to be expected soon. All of that is a big no-brainer. Duh. Every game has had 4 main characters. Every game has been heavily co-op focused.
This is what we know.
If it doesn't get announced in the first half of 2019, we're gonna fucking kill Gearbox.
I don't recommend that.
No, we're all gonna march with pitchforks. I'm gonna duct tape one to your hand. And then
that's like some Joker level shit. That's like taping the pitchfork to my hand. That's like the Joker does.
There you
That's
go.
evil.
We're gonna stop that conversation right there, because the NSA is listening.
Chad, were you going to harm the creators of Gearbox Studios?
All I want is Borderlands 3.
Do you want Infinity Blade anymore?
Oh, Infinity Blade. When I first saw this story, Infinity Blade Trilogy is no longer available for purchase in the App Store. Epic Games has pulled it. When I first saw this story, I was like, oh man, wow. Those are like some of the standout games on the App Store. And they were like the ones that introduced them on the keynote at WWDC for the App Store and things like that. But then I thought about it, like, are they making money on those anymore? Is anybody buying those anymore? When's the last time they probably sold one of those? Nah. They're probably spending more money updating them to like 64-bit apps and things like that to keep them current with certain operating systems than they are actually making money off the games. So it makes sense for them to pull them. That's just another unfortunate side effect, though, of the digital future.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because, like, to me, this is like saying, well, we're taking Halo off the Xbox store because it's been a long time since Combat Evolved was out and we can't support it anymore. Like, that's going to happen eventually too, but it is weird.
But
it's
I mean, there are still
it's
like people who own the Halo game and an Xbox, or Master Chief Collection and an Xbox One. They can still play Halo. There's currently you can still re-download the game, but eventually you won't be able to.
I think what would be nice if it would happen, and this is actually I think more of an issue on Apple's end, and I'll explain that in a second. Is that developers should give them to the community? Should give the games to the community. Hey, we can't support this, but if you guys love this game. Basically, just prevent pirating, because pirating has kind of maintained a lot of these games. Emulations maintained a lot of these games. Just give it out to the community and say, hey, do what you want with this game, like maintain it, make sure it runs on future operating, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Apple's ecosystem doesn't allow for that, though. You couldn't say, take it, do what you want with it, and then put it back on the App Store and then release it for people. I don't know, it wouldn't work.
That's okay. I'm sure there are 100... Chinese knockoff clones of it in the App Store already. So.
Yes. Countless Blade.
Blade that does not end.
Blade that does not end. I think it's kind of sad, though. It's upsetting. They're going to keep it. So, like, if you've already downloaded it or you've already bought it, you'll be able to re-download it again. You just can't make any new in-app purchases at all. There's no guarantee that you'll be able to re-download forever, though. I can say that there is...
I mean, if you look at something like BioShock from 2K, that's in my purchase history, but I can never re-download it.
Mm-hmm. And it's happened to me with a few other games, too, which is, I don't know. I think if you bought it, you should still have access to it, but that's not how these things work.
Nope.
But that's one, I'd say, kind of upsetting thing Epic did. There was something very cool that Epic did this week, though, too.
Ooh, what did Epic do? What did it do?
They launched their Epic Games Store.
Woo!
Which is pretty cool, because they have a really cool revenue split with developers, and that's they give developers a lot more money than they usually are used to getting. Usually the standard, I'd say, is a 70-30 split. They're doing 88-12. That's huge.
Yeah.
So
that is a super pro developer move.
Very, very much so.
And we're already seeing, you saw it actually a few times at the Game Awards at the end of trailers, coming to Epic Game Store at the end of the trailer.
Well, we were also, when we were watching the Game Awards, we were wondering, why are they showing Journey? Journey's not on PC, but it's launching the Epic Game Store for PC for the first time.
That's pretty titties.
It is pretty titties.
Apparently, Bastion maker.
Supergiant Games.
Supergiant.
Hades,
their new game, Hades, is already out in the Epic Game Store as well. It launched in the Epic Game Store.
Yes, it's pretty cool. This is not, so it does not seem like the Epic Game Store is competing against Steam. This is not going to be every game you get will come from Epic's Game Store. It seems like they're curating a selection of games that they enjoy to sell.
Yep.
And I think they're basically going to get developers in saying, hey, you have a really awesome game. We want to support you. Come to us and you'll get more money.
Here's what I love about Epic Games. They found success. I mean, they've always been pretty successful with a lot of their properties, but they found unimaginable success with Fortnite. And they have this sudden influx of cash. And they're like, what do we do with it? Well, earlier this year, they said, all right, anyone who's ever made an asset for us and sold it in the Epic Store, we're going to retroactively give you a lot more money for it. We're going to increase the percentage you get, and then we're going to go back in time and just give you guys that extra stuff. Awesome. And then they come out and they're like, hey, by the way, we're now making a thing where you get 88% of the profit from your game instead of 70%. Just because we got a ton of money and we don't know what to do with it. Oh, and by the way, also, if you made it with Unreal Engine, we're going to waive the 5% fee that we normally charge for every sale. Oh, and by the way, we're also going to do a support a creator program, and if you advertise and someone clicks on your affiliate link and comes to our store, we're going to give you a big chunk of that as well. It's like they're taking all of their success and they're giving it right back to the developers, the community, their fans, and that's a super cool thing to see from a big company like that.
Oh, yeah. Very, very cool. One thing to note, because they're curating these games, the 88% revenue that developers are getting is probably still going to go towards bigger developers. Not like huge, but like established names. You're not going to have an up-and-coming, no one's ever heard of you, going to be up at Game Store initially, I would imagine.
Well, I mean,
maybe we will, but...
You still have smaller people like Supergiant and...
yeah, but again, that's an established name, though.
Yeah, still indie, though.
It's still indie, absolutely, but it's an established indie. So I just wanted to throw that little
that's dope.
Caveat out there. But I don't want to diminish what they're doing, though, because I think this is still huge.
This also comes about 2 days after Steam announced their new revenue split. Did you see that?
No, actually, and
I should have included that. This announcement was made about 2 days after Steam announced theirs, and Steam has the 70-30, and they announced that the more your game sells, the more profit you make from it. Starting with $10 million. When your game sells $10 million, you'll start to earn a little bit more. When it sells, whatever the next number is, 20 million, 30 million, you'll start to earn a little bit more. So that very heavily caters to the Ubisoft, the Blizzard, everyone. They're like, hey, stop making everything happen on Battle.net. Stop making everything happen in the Uplay store. We want you guys back on Steam. So they're very much catering to the giant developers, trying to bring them back in, and then fucking over all the other people, all the little guys.
I personally never understood the 70-30 split. It seems totally egregious to me. It just seems like overkill.
Right. It's literally just like, we're not going to do shit at all. We're just going to let you guys post your shit on our store, and we're going to make almost a third of what you make.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
It doesn't. I mean, I get they have to like support the servers and employees to like do support and that kind of stuff, but there's no way that 30% is not enough to like support that. I'm sure 12% is plenty to support that kind of stuff.
Yep.
It's basically pure profit.
Especially when you're Steam, which up until maybe about like a year-ish ago, 2 years ago, was a monopoly, basically. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was still good old games.
Yeah, but this isn't...
There's still Humble Bundle, but...
Yeah, but this also isn't... This is not just a Steam thing. I mean, this is Apple's trend with and this is Google's trend with Play Store. Like, this is a pretty standard model, I would say.
Yeah.
And even Google and Apple have made slight changes, but it's to kind of favor, well, once you have the subscription for like a full year, then we'll change subscription revenues to 85-15. Like, but again, it's still catering to bigger companies.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I actually hadn't considered this until I heard it. Maybe it was on Easy Allies. With this new split, there might be developers who are like, oh, I could sell it on Steam with a 70-30, and I could sell it on Epic with an 88-12, and maybe I'll just cut the price and make the same amount of money and make it cheaper on Epic. And that way, that's just going to drive everybody to Epic Games Store, and everyone's going to be like, why the fuck would I buy it on Steam? Kind of like what Spotify tried to do on iOS.
Yeah.
When, like, if you bought the Spotify subscription through the app, it was $12.99.
Yep.
But if you bought it on the website, it was $9.99. Just because of that 70-30.
And Apple was very fair and said you could link to the website if you wanted to let people know. But oh wait, they didn't do that. I'm sorry.
So it's like I think that's a really kind of interesting thing that people could pull. I don't know if anyone's going to, but just like you could legit make it cheaper and still make the same amount of money.
Ballsy move. I mean, not that Steam would ever say like, no, you can't sell our game on there because you lowered the price somewhere else. But you wouldn't necessarily want to piss off Valve.
That's right.
And shoot across the bow, if you will. So,
sternum. Bow, sternum. Wanted to say it.
Do you want to talk about the Game Awards, Chad?
Let's talk about the fucking Game Awards. Main quest. The fucking main quest.
Really quickly.
Where people fight dragons.
We will talk about dragons.
And eat from a pot.
I want to just go over really quickly the predictions that did not happen. The things people thought were going to happen at the Game Awards.
Oh, so many things.
That did not. I thought here are some of the biggest ones.
Okay, tell all of the people.
All the people, every single one of them. Alien Blackout. People thought that was going to happen. Didn't happen.
Fucking nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen. I said Resident Evil 2 trailer and a demo announcement. Didn't.
Turns out you're a dumb bitch.
I'm a dumb bitch. Didn't happen. So here's all right. Avengers game. People thought there was going to be an Avengers game. There was an Avengers game, but not the one people thought it was going to be. Which is kind of cool. There was
a game with Avengers in it.
There was a game with Avengers in it, yeah. The Avengers 4 trailer. People thought the Avengers 4 trailer was going to be there. Came out the next day.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny. You think I imagine this conversation between Jeff Keighley and the Russo brothers be like, "Oh, so you're gonna show the trailer at the Game Awards?" Well, we were thinking like the next day instead. He's like, "Are you sure? Just like the day before, like you showed up at the Game Awards, it'd be great. Like we can do that. No, we'll show up, but like we can't do that. I'm sorry." That must have been kind of shitty for Jeff Keighley to like deal with that. I don't know. Why would
there was so much hype around the Russo brothers being at the Game Awards, and it turned out there's like, no, we just want to present. We're just fans.
I have
like, what?
So
what did it mean?
Let me say the next prediction that didn't happen, and then I'll come back to what you just said because I think thematically they're related.
Okay.
So Avengers 4 trailer. No Metroid Prime 4.
Oh God.
You were so
butthurt. You were so
I was
butthurt.
so butthurt about it. I literally, Chad and I watched the show live together, and I literally said, "Well, that was a stupid show." Like, they didn't even announce. I've settled down on this show. Actually, I have more positive things to say about it. But I'm totally butthurt about it. But I realized how brilliant of marketing is this. Reggie had a photo with Jeff Keighley showing him wearing a Metroid shirt. Everyone's talking about how this is going to be a Metroid game. There's this Prime Trilogy Switch rumor going about. And then it doesn't happen, which actually probably generated just as much discussion had they shown the trailer.
And they could then spend that money on just ads for Smash Bros. Throughout the whole thing.
Exactly. And I think the same thing is true of Avengers 4. Like, let's just tease them just like a little bit more about this the title for the next movie. It's kind of a really smart marketing move is to not say something when there's a lot of hype around it. Because you still had the conversation. Yeah! Exactly. But again, like, people are still going to be hyped when Metroid Prime 4 is announced. Definitely next month. Definitely next month in January. It's going to happen. It has to.
That's it.
It has to. I said the same thing last year.
I know.
So, let's talk about what did get announced, Jed. And then we'll get into, like, the winners and all that stuff.
All right.
I don't want to focus on every announcement because there's actually a lot.
No, there's a shit ton.
This thing
was almost 3.5 hours.
It was very, very long. And although they did not announce Metroid Prime 4, which is like a shame, they had some really good announcements. And there are actually 3 games I'm super excited about. But what did you like? I wonder what you liked.
Blue Firewatch, I was intrigued by.
The Blue Firewatch? What?
Yep. What was it called? Among Trees?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
We were watching it. It just looks like Blue Firewatch.
Yeah.
And that looks good. Hades, we talked about this one already a little bit. Yep. Hades from Supergiant. It's the roguelike kind of in the isometric style of Bastion and Transistor. Already out on goddamn shit. Ashen got released that day?
Yeah, it came out that day. Yeah.
I was stoked to see that there was already a Joker DLC announcement for Smash Bros. First of all, the fact that we're already seeing DLC the night before the game came out, I think it's really cool. Second of all, the fact that it was someone as high profile and as unrelated to Nintendo as Persona 5.
Yes.
Like, Persona games, maybe some of the like dancing ones maybe came out on 3DS, but like
no, Persona games have been on 3DS before. Not even just a dancing one, but yeah, they've had 3DS Persona games. Gotcha. Maybe just one actually, but it wasn't like a bad one or anything. It was a good one. It was well received.
Persona 4, though, and 5 have not.
No.
There's been no discussion about them ever coming.
No.
But I think that's maybe a good sign of it. We might be seeing those coming to Switch.
Possibly. But I think it also might be just more that it's a very prominent Japanese developer.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's just a prominent Japanese developer. We no longer are in the days where it has to have anything to do with Nintendo in order to appear in Switch, which is cool.
Well, also...
And that makes me excited.
Also, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming to Switch exclusively, I believe, and Persona is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei.
I always forget that.
I always forget that too, and I just remembered it right now.
World.
I haven't played any of those games before.
Me neither.
But they also said the Joker announcement that the Joker is indicative of what to expect from the DLC characters. Essentially, that this is like a sign of what the theme is going to be.
There was did you see the tweet from Zachary?
I'm not on Twitter anymore, so no.
Oh, that's right. So, this was weeks ago. Whenever they announced that, we haven't decided what the 5 characters are yet, 5 DLC characters are yet, but we'll be making up our minds. And then, like, the next day, after he got hundreds and hundreds of people telling him, we should have this, he finally tweeted out, it's like, please stop giving me things. I'm not the one making the decision. Nintendo's deciding who's the DLC characters this time. please stop tweeting me. But when that came out, everyone was like, oh, Nintendo's making the decision this year, or this time, not Sakurai. That might mean like, oh, we're going to see them really pushing Nintendo. Oh, we're going to see Piranha Plant. We're going to see ARMS characters. We're going to see a lot of things that, we just don't give a shit. But no,
I don't think so.
They went for Persona 5. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think also Nintendo's on this like outreach mission. They want to get people who normally wouldn't get a Nintendo console to buy a Switch. That's kind of like what their goal has been, like putting Doom and working with Bethesda, like things like that. Like Reggie said recently, he would love to have Red Dead Redemption 2 on Switch, and I'm like, they would never let a Rockstar game on there before. Usually, that's really funny. But he said that he'd love to have it. Technologically speaking, it'll never happen. But
I'm surprised though we didn't see a GTA 5 on Switch announcement.
I think eventually it'll probably happen, but that would be kind of unheard of before. I really don't think that like on the Wii you would have seen something like that. Although that's not true. They had Manhunt on the Wii.
They did. I played Manhunt 2 on the Wii. Yep.
Yeah, that's a mess.
They also had Chinatown Wars on 3DS.
That's true. GTA. That's true. I shouldn't say that actually, but that's what train of thought there. Tell us what train of thought. You distracted me.
Cool. Well, what other announcements were there that you were excited about?
Well, my 3 games I'm pretty excited about. One's just The Last Campfire. That's the Hello Games game.
Oh, yeah.
That looks really good. It looks very different than No Man's Sky. This is not.
You know what it was? You know what I learned about it?
What?
That's 2 people.
2 people made that game?
2 people from Hello Games, just like, hey, Sean Murray, can we go work on this thing? They're like, oh, yeah, cool. 2 people made that entire game.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, right?
That looks really good. The art style is really fun looking. I really want to play that game. I doubt it's coming to Switch, but I would love it. That seems like a really good game to play on Switch.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. The Pathless, the new game from Abzu and the Journey creator.
Oh, yeah. That was the one with the bow and arrow. And
mm-hmm. That looks really interesting. Abzu to me was just like underwater Journey, and that's why I didn't like it that much. It just felt like too much of the same thing. That same kind of game. This looks like it's trying to be something different. It looks like it's much more open-ended is the vibe. I mean, it's literally called The Pathless. It'd be kind of strange if it was a linear game. So I'm curious what they're going to do with that. The art style is incredibly beautiful. The game I'm most excited about is The Outer Worlds.
There's been so much scuttlebutt about Outer Worlds on the internet the last couple of days.
I haven't been paying attention to that at all. What have they been saying?
Just people like, thank God, The Outer Worlds. Wait, is this the one I'm thinking of? This is the one that kind of like is a Fallout?
Yeah. This is from Obsidian.
Everyone's like, this is what Fallout 76 should have been.
Yep, yeah.
Or like, for everyone who was disappointed, this is what you should be playing instead.
This game honestly seems perfect timing and bad news for Bethesda. Just that, Fallout 76. Also, Starfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think Starfield will probably be a next-gen game, so there'll be some hype there still. But this looks like a really good game. It doesn't look like revolutionary at all. It looks like a very typical Western RPG in the style of Fallout. It looks very much like that, just in space. That's kind of why I'm excited about it. It's like, oh boy, cool. I actually have been wanting to have a RPG like this with a sci-fi setting.
Yeah.
I think I was listening to Game Informer show, and they or it was just gameplay of it, and the Game Informer was talking over it, and they made a really good point, and that's that there's not been a really good sci-fi RPG lately. It's kind of been a big letdown. Mass Effect Andromeda, big letdown. Fallout 76 was kind of like a big, letdown. We're waiting. People have been waiting for something like this, I feel like. And there's not really another game like it on the current generation of consoles in terms of being this kind of RPG in that kind of setting, even though it doesn't seem there's anything super revolutionary happening with the RPG mechanics. That's it. I did watch a little bit of the gameplay, though, and there were some kind of clever little things thrown in there. Like when if there's a certain enemy that I think I'm probably getting this wrong, but if there's a certain type of enemy that defeats you a lot, or I think it's what it is. It defeats you a lot. Your character will start to grow afraid of that particular type of enemy, which means that you'll actually lose a little bit of your stats when
they pee their pants.
They kind of pee their pants a little bit when they get close to that enemy. It like builds fear in them. Like, I think that's like kind of cool. you could play dumb with NPCs and you're talking to them. There's like an option that's just dumb next to it. You can play dumb with NPCs, like little fun things like that, but nothing that's just like, whoa, RPG's never done this before. I just want to see this world. I'm very curious about this world. I have a lot of questions still. Like, it's called the Outer Worlds. Are you actually traveling to different worlds? How big is this place? I don't know. But it looks good. And then the other announcements that were not new games, the only one I really cared for, besides the one you already mentioned, was Rage 2. That trailer is awesome. I can't wait to get that game. Yeah. It's going to be fucking sick.
Again, I just want Borderlands 3, but Rage 2 will do in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rage 2 will come out first. Rage 3 might come out before Borderlands 3. Who knows? But yeah, they had some really good announcements at the Game Awards.
There were a Mortal Kombat 11 was announced.
Yeah.
They had a trailer. Yeah.
Cool way to announce it, though. Like, we're announcing the award for what's this happening? A trailer? Like, that was kind of cool. It would have been better if it was like, what's this? Metroid Prime 4? Like, that would have been way cooler. But
this game doesn't look incredible, but the fact that it's happening the way it is incredible. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, is exclusive to Switch.
That's surprising
by Nintendo. Yeah. From Team Ninja. Yeah, that was really surprising. It looks like the old Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, which is to say that those were really old games, and it still looks super old, but I guess it's Switch exclusive, so.
Here, we'll put it this way. I got an Xbox 360 within the first year of launch, I think, and one of the games I got with it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. 360 launch. Yep. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Can I just do a random tangent for a second?
Yep.
Random work story that's relevant to me just mentioning Xbox 360. As you guys know, I'm a brand ambassador for Oculus. So I do spend some time talking to people about tech specs for computers and whether or not their computer can handle Oculus or not. And this guy's like, well, I don't know what kind of gaming PC I have, but it's a Microsoft 360. Will that be able to handle the Oculus? And I'm like, no, sir.
No.
Probably not.
No. Let's talk what PC means.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. The Microsoft 360.
The other big thing that I think was announced that I think looks trash, but probably is going to make a lot of headlines. Stranger Things 3, the game.
Yeah.
I think the way it was shown off was awful. I think the game itself looks awful.
Do you know what it looks like? Do you remember a Kickstarter game called Star Command?
No.
No, never mind. Okay, we'll keep talking. Just ignore me. I'm an idiot.
Good talk.
Good point, Holden. Let's move on.
All in all, though, there were a ton of announcements and a ton of trailers at Game Awards.
Yeah. And I think you put something really well. At the end, I mentioned, wow, there's a lot more ads and stuff during this Game Awards. But then you kind of made a really good point. That's, but there's a lot less, was it Gillette Schick Turbo Man or whatever?
Schick Turbo or Schick Quattro.
Yeah, the Razor Blade mascot.
Bullshit, like, oh my god, I can't believe we're watching this right now. And more of like, oh, these are ads for games.
Yeah,
I get it.
Exactly. The only thing that was kind of like, oh man, like another musical performance, but that's more understandable. They'll never not have those kinds of things.
The metal
one, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The only one I liked was the Smash Bros. One, because it made me realize how much...
Suck my dick and snort a amount of cocaine.
But did you not like...
my butt and fucking do it again.
When they play the Game Awards song, I'm like, that wasn't that great. Every time they played, I'm like, that wasn't that great. But the Smash Bros. Song, I'm like, wow, Nintendo really is just like so much better at music than so many other game developers. Not all of them, but than a lot of other game developers. Let's talk about who won.
Suck my... That song is so catchy.
No, that's not the lyrics of the song, just so you know.
It is. But even Saturday, Jessie sat down to play with me with her new boyfriend, and we all sat down and played Smash. This was 24 hours after we had the game.
Wait, she's not with Cam anymore?
No, they broke up a long time ago.
Oh man, but Cam was awesome.
She's with a new boyfriend who just got divorced last week, so...
Whoa, fun.
But anyway, we sat down. She heard the music for the first time. She's like, wait a minute. That's that Suck My Dick song you've been singing, isn't it? I was like, it is. She's like, man, you've been singing that for a while. I was like, no, literally 24 hours. That's it. But it's that catchy. And now she sings it. Suck my dick and snort a pound of cocaine.
I got that stuck in my head over the weekend, too, because you were singing that to me. When we were watching I think you were saying to people when we were watching the Game Awards. Is that what you're saying it? Yeah.
No, it was No, we were playing online.
That's right.
Together.
That's right.
And you were legit getting angry.
I was getting angry with you, yes. As angry as I get. I don't get angry.
It's just too catchy.
Let's
talk about who won some shit.
Yeah.
Mostly so I can gloat about God of War.
Yeah, I mean, even though we both predicted God of War, spoiler alert, God of War won Game of the Year. Even though we both predicted that was going to win Game of the Year, I was still like, oh, it did win. I'm really surprised.
Yeah. I thought it was going to happen, but then, Red Dead kept racking them up.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit, is this going to sweep the entire awards ceremony right now?
But God of War did well still.
Yeah, it did. Let's talk through some of the main ones.
Yeah. So Game of the Year, obviously, we just said went to God of War.
It also won Action Adventure Game.
Yep.
And it also won Game Direction, which it absolutely deserves.
Yes. Did it win anything else? Is that?
No, that was it. Just 3.
Yeah, just 3, yeah. Ongoing game was Fortnite, but that's not surprising.
Yep.
That was obvious. Art direction surprised me just because I had never heard of this game. Obra Dinn.
So I've learned a little bit more about it since. It's PC only, which is why we've never heard of it.
That makes sense. Fez D's it's the best game ever, you guys. Why have you never heard of this before?
It kind of looks like really shitty, like night vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like if 16-bit graphics were only in black and white night vision type stuff.
Okay.
That's kind of what it looks like. But I guess, in a moving video game, it looks amazing. I watched a little bit. I was like, oh, that's really interesting art style.
Narrative, I was very convinced was going to go to Detroit. That went to Red Dead.
Yeah, I wanted that to go to Detroit, but I knew it wasn't going to.
Mm-hmm. I honestly trying to think. There's not many surprises. Oh, actually, one I'm very happy about. Family Game went to Overcooked 2. It did not go to a Nintendo game, and I'm very happy about that.
Yep.
It gave... I don't know, I just you don't see games like Overcooked get recognized in this way very often.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see that happen. So I appreciated that. Celeste got a lot of love.
Good for Celeste. I'm so happy for Celeste. In fact, I started playing the Celeste soundtrack at work today.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Was there really anything else worth mentioning in the wins for you at all?
Well, Red Dead, it won narrative. It won best performance,
best score,
Arthur Morgan, best score,
and audio design,
best sound design. Yeah.
Yeah, more technical stuff than.
Yeah, but all of those came before we saw God of War win anything.
Yeah,
and that's when I started going oh god, oh god. And then Spider-Man won something.
No, it didn't.
It won one thing, didn't it?
I don't have it winning anything.
No. Oh shit.
Nothing at all. Yeah, I think you called it too. You said Spider-Man's going to get shafted, and it got shafted.
Oh man, yep.
And actually, so did Octopath Traveler.
That was really only up for 2 awards, though, right?
Yeah, but
Monster Hunter World won Best RPG.
But the ones it was up for, I'm like, it has a good chance of winning either of those, and it didn't win any of them.
Yeah. Shout out to Florence for winning Best Mobile Game.
Yeah.
Astrobot Rescue Mission for Best VR Game. Here's the thing. What a fucking good year for Sony. Even if, first part, obviously God of War and all the VR stuff, but, the amount of nominations for all of this, Spider-Man, God of War, Detroit Become Human, all the VR shit. What a fucking good year Sony had this year.
Also, too, just a good year for indies, I would say. I mean...
Yeah. The Messenger.
Celeste was nominated.
Obra Dinn.
Celeste nominated for Game of the Year, but then Dead Cells beat Call of Duty as an action game. It beat the biggest game of the year besides, I should say biggest blockbuster game of the year. No.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is, but you get my point. Big fucking game. It's a big fucking game, okay? It's a BFG. It's a big fucking game.
Shout out
by
to
Ronald
Ninja
Dahl.
for winning Content Creator of the Year, even though he's scared to play with women because he might become unfaithful to his wife.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, he doesn't play with women because he's scared of the optics of it, playing with female gamers and then being married and the way that might look.
Is this Ninja or the Vice President of the United States of America? Because it sounds like Mike Pence.
Oh, they are the same.
Yes, Ninja and Mike Pence are the same person. I mean, like when Mike Pence dyed his hair
Pence
blue.
Just puts on a blue wig.
Yeah.
And...
We both came up with the same trick at the same time. How funny.
Look at that.
We're amazing. We're so special. Actually, I'm sorry. You're special. You're the special guest this
I'm
episode.
the special guest!
I'm not special. There's nothing special about me.
That's true.
Only Chad is special. I don't think there's anything else special to mention about these predictions. Or not the predictions, the winners for the Game Awards. So I think we're good on that.
Yeah.
I think we're
ready
good.
To wrap up with the end game.
You mean Avengers Endgame?
Avengers Endgame.
Can we please pretend that Endgame is brought to you by Avengers Endgame?
Brought to you by the Russo brothers and Avengers Endgame.
Would that be illegal if we were to say that the Endgame of the Respawn and Fire Show is brought to you by Marvel Avengers Endgame? I think it might be.
We talked about our game being brought to you by BuzzFeed and pushed by Sapphire, so.
I think, though, there's like a legal thing. If you actually were serious about it, as like a stipulation, like we were being sponsored by Avengers 4, like Endgame.
Our views are supported by Marvel.
Yeah. Our views are supported by Marvel. And then just like,
as we start talking about all these would you rathers.
Yeah.
Speaking of would you rather, that's going to be our Game on Game show again this week because it's just so goddamn fun and popular. But before we do that, we want to do two things. One, mention the participation award. Last week we know Fez won his Steam gift card so we can go out there and buy money.
Did he get it?
On Steam and use it on games and shit.
Did he get it?
He got his card.
Good. I'm so glad.
We'll let you know what he bought. Last time he won, which was like 3 months ago, he purchased, hold please, I'm in the wrong account on my Twitters, 10 notifications. Jesus, I'm so popular. Last time he bought Scum, he says, which is similar to DayZ, but didn't live long, but well worth the $20. Scum just sounds like...
Yeah, I wouldn't name a game Scum. It's just
like,
buy a game,
Scumbag
it's called crap.
is a moniker for a used condom. So Scum just makes me think of jizz. Anyway, you too can win by either referring a friend to us, by interacting with us on Twitter every week, and whatever the third way was. I can't remember.
Yelling out your window.
Reading us on the podcast service of your choice, and yelling out your window, it's my money and I need it now! And for every one of you who does that, you get entered in to win.
I tell you what, if you yell at your window, it's my money and I need it now, and we hear it, we'll give you $1 million.
Here's the thing. If you do it, and you record a video of you doing it, that's going to earn you 3 entries into this week's participation award, into this month's participation award, just because I want to see so many videos of people doing it.
But here's the thing. It has to be a video shot from the outside of the building of you inside the building. It has to be done that way.
All right. Done. Perfect. Next up, we're going to take a look at our subscriber interrogative, which you guys can submit to us either on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, email, carrier pigeon, by shouting it out your window. And this was actually just from me. Holden is trying not to die from laughter right now.
Go for it, Chad.
I actually just wanted to bring this up. This is from me. With the holidays coming up and a slightly slower January, what's in your backlog that you're hoping to play?
I'm just challenging you on this question. What the hell do you mean slower January? I got Resident Evil 2 and Super Smash not Super Smash Bros. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe or whatever it's called.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then for people, it's like Kingdom Hearts coming out. Like, what are you talking about slow January?
Yeah, we're not going to be playing Kingdom Hearts.
No, you're right. I'm not going to be. But
and you're not going to buy Resident Evil 2 at launch.
I will. I actually am very excited about that game. Resident Evil 7 was my game, one of my games of the year last year. But that's not to the end of the month,
right? That's like January 29th or something?
Yeah, it is. But still. But I think it's like January 11th or something like that, or 19th for Mario Bros. I'm pretty sure. And I'm definitely going to play that. Because I think you could do online co-op in that game. That's going to be so much fun. It's going to be great. Okay, so I want to play Hitman 2, because I do want to play Hitman 2, which I have no time to play it.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, that's right.
I like Hitman 2, but I knew it was never going to be like a Game of the Year contender, so I never really put in an effort to play it a lot this year. But I do still want to play the game a lot. I'll probably play some more Smash Bros. Since I have to invest more time in God of War, and Red Dead for the end of the year. But if I don't beat Red Dead, that's my main priority in January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to finish that shit up.
I do.
So holidays for me usually does not mean any playtime whatsoever. I have a week of vacation, but it's a week of
family time.
Nonstop 6 nieces and nephews going crazy playing Calico Critters and jumping around the house. So, and yeah, only one of them is really old enough to understand playing video games. We give the others like a fake Joy-Con to make them think they're playing Mario Kart, but so yeah.
And they're gonna go to therapy because like I was lied to my whole life. I thought I was playing Mario Kart. I thought I was a pro. I thought I was Mario making all the moves.
So I have a couple of plane rides, and I have like 3 weeks in January before I move to California.
That's right.
I'm trying to take a week off, and so I'm going to try to get through The Messenger, which I have on my Switch, ready to go, and then I bought Nier Automata over Black Friday, and I really want to get into that because that game last year had so many Game of the Year nods as well.
I just feel like you're never going to play that game. I don't know why. I just feel you're never going to play it. I know Jerson was really into it, and he recommended we play it.
Yeah. The last game you said that about was Overwatch. When I played it for that weekend, and I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to buy this game, and I'm going to play it occasionally, maybe a couple hours a week. And you said, you're fucking never going to play that game ever again. Literally never picked it up ever again. I bought it, never turned it on again.
Wow, you sound just as bad as like this Holden guy who never finishes any game he plays.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
Almost as bad as him.
Almost.
Key word there. As bad as him.
So we'll wrap it up with another video game, Would You Rather.
Yeah.
This one doesn't really have a theme.
Okay.
And some of them are weird, as usual.
The theme will be make Holden uncomfortable. That's what the theme has been every time.
There we go.
Yeah.
No, I don't think this one will make...
It will.
No.
It will. There'll be some...
won't really make you uncomfortable. Okay, first one. This one's really innocuous. Would you rather run the Pokemon daycare or be the Pokemon breeder?
What's the difference? I thought the Pokemon daycare and the breeder were the same thing.
To my knowledge, the daycare is the one where you leave the Pokemon and you go, and the amount of steps you walk, you come back, and they've leveled up. They've gotten experience.
Yeah, but I thought if you left a male and a female of the same Pokemon, it would breed them.
That was in later ones where you just watch the Pokemon fuck.
Oh, see, that's exactly what happens.
And then there's an egg, and you hatch the egg. And
no, you watch them fuck. You just watch.
So do you want to just watch one play and grow up, or do you want to watch?
That's the really nice thing about Pokemon Let's Go is that you can actually see 3D models of the Pokemon fucking. I don't know. I guess probably. Honestly, being a daycare for Pokemon sounds like a pain in the ass. This is a breeder. It's
it totally does.
I guess breeder. Let's put it this way. Dog breeders make a ton of money. Dog kennels...
That's true.
...probably don't make as much money. So...
That's true.
And I'd rather be in a... I've bought dogs from a breeder. Well, my family's bought dogs from a breeder before. Those can be very nice places. Kennels are usually I need to keep my dog here for a weekend so I can enjoy myself.
Okay, this is going to get a little weird.
Yeah.
Do you have to be as involved in the breeding process? When horses mate and they have to set them up and they have harnesses and shit. And then there's a bottle that they make them inject. I don't know why.
Do you want to just picture?
Maybe it was an episode
when you said
harnesses
and shit, I just pictured in 50 Shades of Grey, Mr. Grey's room, he has that harness thing he set up. And I'm just picturing BDSM horses
I know nothing about that movie, even though I threw up and
we saw it together in the same room, so...
We were in the same room, and the movie was playing. Those are facts.
I guess I was much more engrossed in the movie than you were. Forget everything I just said.
Great. Yeah, let's do breeder for money's
breeder,
sake,
yeah.
even if it means having to touch Pokemon
We had no idea what that one... This is awkward. It's going to talk about horses fucking. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Next one. I have a follow-up question to this that I thought about while writing it. But Would you rather eat enemies,
like Kirby?
Specifically, let's say turtles. You eat turtles, and then you poop giant eggs like Yoshi.
Okay, like Yoshi. Okay.
So you eat a turtle and then poop an egg. Or Would you rather vomit giant eggs like Birdo?
This is gonna happen. I'm gonna vomit the eggs like Birdo because my throat, I'm assuming, is wider than my asshole. Just saying.
Okay.
I think it's a good reason.
I honestly think that I will poop giant eggs just because vomiting is always so painful. You always feel so much better afterwards.
Yeah.
But just like even when vomiting is liquid, you're just like, oh my god, that's the worst thing in my life. I hate life. And then imagine if it was a giant solid egg.
Also, too, you don't breathe out your asshole, but you breathe out your mouth. So, like, get that egg out really fast.
I don't breathe out my asshole?
But, like, get that egg out fast, because if you don't get it out there in a minute, you're going to suffocate and die. So, enjoy.
You don't breathe out your asshole.
Is that the quote?
But you breathe out your mouth. All right. Next question. Oh, follow-up question to that. What are in these eggs that Yoshi's shitting out?
Yeah.
Because if they're other Yoshis, he's just fucking throwing them at the walls, throwing them at enemies. Like, he doesn't fucking care about all these babies he's killing.
Yoshi is like what a pro-life imagines the worst abortion is ever. That was so horrible.
Oh my god.
Like when they say like it's a baby killer, they picture Yoshi, like abortion thrown against the wall.
I'm just gonna eat this thing, shit out a kid, and smash it against the wall.
I think that might be one of the most offensive things I've said on this podcast. That's really horrible.
What is in those eggs?
I don't know. Probably not Yoshi's.
Then what is it?
I don't know.
Next up, would you rather... This one's just weird.
You said there weren't any weird ones, Chad. What's up?
This one's so loosely video game related.
Okay.
I was just struggling. Would you rather wear mashed potato underwear?
How was this video game related?
This involves getting a bowl of every time you need to put on underwear, you get a bowl of mashed potatoes, and you get one of those cake icing spatulas.
Yeah.
And you cake it onto your body.
What?
And then you get a hair dryer, and you have to blow dry it till it's hard and crusty. That way you don't get mashed potato all over your pants. And then that's your underwear. Would you rather that? Or would you rather have a party member with you in real life at all times who's constantly dying and needing reviving at the hospital and you don't have health insurance?
Oh my gosh, this has nothing to do with each other.
It's a party member.
Okay, so here's the thing about the mashed potato underwear. Hey boss, I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Like, that's
I'm gonna scrape all these dry mashed potatoes off my ass.
You're like, oh shit, I really got to get done. Let me scrape the mashed potatoes off. It sounds like such a headache, but so does also being like, hey, want to get dinner tonight? Yeah, absolutely. Oh fuck, Keith died again. All right, we gotta go to the hospital. That sounds like a nightmare too.
There's no way you're ever going to be able to afford going out to dinner because of the hospital bills.
That's a good point. I won't be able to afford anything. I won't, though. At a certain point, I can just sell Keith.
You won't be able to afford the mashed potatoes to put on your ass.
You're going to have to deal with, like, add water potatoes for all your underwear going forward.
What happens if you go to the bathroom and you forget to bring your instant mashed potatoes with you?
Or, like, a method of...
Also, where do you mix them? Do you put them in the toilet bowl to mix them up?
You just have a backpack filled with mashed potatoes, just in case.
And you got to have the blow dryer, or else you got to sit there and wait for them to air dry.
Oh my gosh, that's just like, I just can't imagine how weird your life would be. Like, you're on a date and you're like, hey, like, I have this backpack filled with mashed potatoes. Here's why. Do you want to see me again? Whereas, like, if you like, hey, Keith died, we have to go to the hospital again. That'd make for a really interesting date. Like, what happened in your first date? Oh my god, his party member died, and we had to go to the hospital to revive him. it'd be a good story there. But hey, I shit in mashed potatoes isn't like an interesting story. So I'm gonna say no to that one.
I love the fact that that's not even like the mashed potato thing is not like a world of the play kind of thing. Not everyone does it. It's just you.
It's just me.
You just fucking decide to put mashed potatoes on your balls for some reason every day.
It's not like every day. It's every time you use the bathroom.
Yep.
Every time. Here's the thing: you can get like eventually you'll get really sophisticated with it, and you'll learn how to like get the little like crotch hole built in, so you can just like whip out to pee at the urinal. So that you have to like replace every time you go to the bathroom.
Yep.
I'm gonna take party member dying because I think that there'd be more fun experiences with that, and I want to push for universal healthcare eventually, so that'll get fixed.
I'm gonna go with party member dying. I'm just gonna let him fucking die.
You're just gonna let him die?
I don't have the money for that.
I don't have the money for that. I leveled up my character a lot. He was behind anyway because he kept dying. He never leveled up ever. So yeah.
I could have chosen the route to be a white mage, and I just decided, fuck it. I want to light things on fire. You're gonna fend for yourself, man.
I think that was the best one yet.
That was the most like, I don't even fucking. What's the weirdest thing? Mashed potato underwear. Let's go. All right, 2 more. We've got, would you rather be Metal Mario with a normal dude's pee-pee caca? Or be a regular dude with a permanent Metal Mario erection?
Wait, I coughed and didn't hear the last part.
So you're Metal Mario with a dude's fleshy dick.
Okay.
Or regular ass person with a permanent Metal Mario erection.
Okay, so here's the thing. This permanent Metal Mario erection.
Yes.
Can I pull it up under the waistband?
You can tuck it up under the waistband, but it's big. Mario's got a big dick.
Well, he's Italian.
You've got a 9-inch dick there.
He's Italian. I mean, come on.
Exactly. That plumber's laying pipe.
Why do you think Peach likes him so much? I mean, come on. He's got nothing to offer. He hasn't say any.
So yeah,
he's a man of few words. He had to have something.
Your pants up high.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Metal Mario dick because I can just whip it up the waistband and it'll be fine. I'd rather have one part of my body metal than the whole body metal. That'd just be a little bit much.
You could look like that badass Terminator 2 villain.
Yeah, but I don't know. No, it wouldn't. Yeah, I think it'd be better the other way around.
You're right.
Yeah,
the whole body being metal, it'd be hard to. Hard to hide that.
We'll put it this way, because children listen to this, so we'll be as clean as possible. Because we've been very clean this whole podcast. It'd be easier to use a metal penis than it would be to use a metal body. We'll put it that way. And I don't think anyone will argue with that. So,
I wonder if it could rust.
Well, it will be. Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Moving on to our final one. Would you rather all drawers, dresser drawers, cabinet drawers, nightstand drawers, kitchen drawers, all drawers have a small chance of being a mimic? Or all toilets have a small chance of being a mimic?
Oh, definitely all drawers. Definitely.
I'm sure about that.
Absolutely. Because I'm not usually exposing my bare ass to a drawer as I'm getting ready to sit on it.
So here's the thing. For anyone who doesn't know, a mimic is a very common like RPG thing where you go to open up a treasure chest and the treasure chest is actually a monster and it like fucking eats you and fights you. You have a small chance. Think about how many drawers you open in your life versus how many toilets you sit on. And yes, the real estate that the toilet will chomp is much more precious than the real estate that might be chomped by the drawer. But if you find a couple of safe toilets, you don't use that many. Maybe one at work, one at home, one at your parents' house. But you open a ton of drawers in your lifetime. Any one of those could bite your hand off. They could
I disagree with you.
Eat your face.
I understand your logic. Your logic is you're going to see more toilets than you are, more dressers than you are toilets. But I think it's the other way around. I think you're going to see a lot more toilets than you are dressers. There are more anonymous, mysterious toilets you will see in your life than there are mysterious drawers you'll be opening. Most people open up their drawers in their house, and that's it.
We're not talking just dresser drawers.
I know.
Like if you go to work and somebody's like, hey, will you get my name tag on my cubby? Boom, could be a mimic.
Here's the thing.
Or you go to someone's kitchen, where are your spoons? Oh, fucking mimic.
I'd say this. How often do you go to a friend's house and use their drawers versus how often do you use their toilets?
You do have a point there.
Mm-hmm. And when you open a drawer, your back's not usually to it. On a toilet, you're defenseless. Back first.
You're right. Oh, shit.
It's got to be drawers, easily.
But think about when you do finally run into that mimic. Someone's taking a chunk out of your ass, or someone's taking your hand off.
Well, I got fast reflexes. So.
If anyone knows Holden DePardo, they know it's for his athleticism and his reflexes.
Very valid, yes. I would agree. Absolutely.
I went into this thinking toilet. Because there are people out there who literally only poop in their, quote, home bowl.
Yeah, I know this.
Toilet.
I know this.
But I poop everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Everyone poops. Everybody poops.
I literally poop my pants at least once a year. That's not
because you're scared of the mimic potentially being in that toilet. So like, is it worth a chance? I'll just poop my pants.
Just poop in my underwear and buy new underwear every day.
It's like, well, I either poop my pants or that's a mimic, and I poop my pants anyway. So I'll just poop my pants.
And I poop my pants anyway. Oh man, no! When farting is hilarious, and you like to be the person who propagates hilarity, sometimes it's a hazard that comes with the job. Yeah, I think you're winning me over.
Yeah, I think
I would go drawers.
I think you made the right
and then just convert all of my, like, everything is just buckets now.
Everything's just buckets now.
I have my underwear bucket, my shirt bucket.
The other option, you get, you do choose toilets and just switch everything in your house to shelves, and you just put everything on shelves.
I have poop shelves.
Yeah, you poop on the shelves.
I don't poop in toilets anymore.
You poop in shelves.
I poop shelves.
That's not what I meant. I meant you put like your clothing and your utensils on shelves instead of like your cabinets. Just like leave them open all the time, and it's just
okay.
There. Yeah.
Can I still poop on those shelves too?
Sure, if you really want to. That'd be hard to like poop in like the shelves because you have to like get up higher. You have to stick your butt in the shelf, and it's a lot.
You got to think about that ahead of time before you put the shelves up.
Yeah.
Got to make them a manageable height. You got to have enough space between them so you can poop on them.
I don't recommend.
You got to figure out what to do once the poop's on the shelf.
That's the.
Do you buy one of those little Beauty and the Beast rose things where you can just put the glass on top so it traps it in there? Or do you have to clean it up?
You just leave it there. You just leave it. Someone will pick it up eventually. Just leave it.
Oh, that has been another weird rendition of Would You Rather.
I think that was the weirdest one, easily.
Yep.
Easily. In the best possible way.
Yep. Mimics are what tied that last one, in case anyone's like, how the fuck is that video game related? Duh, mimics. So, mom. And that wraps up episode 87 of... I was reading the title. I was like, that's not episode 87 of the Game Awards. This is episode 87 of Respawn Aimfire, the Kick-Ass Irreverent Gaming Podcast. Join us next week, where we will have a regular episode.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a special fun episode for the week of Christmas, probably. And then January 1st, we will be back in 2019 to talk about our final experiences with our barfs, our Game of the Year, for our personal stuff, and then talking about our predictions for 2019. Until next week, play Smash. Smash fronts if you're of age. If not, and you have access to the internet, look up videos of Smash Bros. Good night, everyone.
Whew. All right. Toodaloo.